Hello, namaste. My name is Jason, in case you haven't caught that one yet, and this video is on focus and our focal points within life. Abraham Hicks has a lovely illustration of a road trip, going for a 5 or 6 hour road trip somewhere, and she says that most people, when they go on a road trip for real, spend most of their time focused ahead of them. They're looking where they're driving and adjusting the steering wheel according to what the road's doing, and every once in a while they might have a look back in the rearview mirror and then see if there's anything coming quickly behind them, thing they need to be aware of, and then they go back to looking in front. And you might have to look to the side when you're to the side view mirror when you're looking to change lanes over to that side, but most of the time we spend looking straight ahead and adjusting for that straight ahead. Now, our focus is much like that. What we focus on mostly in life is what we'll move into. So if we're focused on our past and the things that we didn't enjoy, or focused too much on the future and the things that we're afraid of, guess what? Those are the things we're going to get more of. It doesn't make sense to do that, but that's the way I was trained to live my life. That's the way I think most of us in Western society possibly have been trained to live our lives. But we don't have to do that anymore. We can make a choice to shift our focus. Shift our focus to that thing that we wish to enjoy more. You know, it's like if we're looking behind us and focusing mostly on what we had happen in the past that we don't want anymore, that's like staring in the rearview mirror on a car and trying to drive the wheel while we're looking in the rearview mirror. And guess what? You're gonna wreck, man. It's gonna happen. You might be able to drive for a few minutes okay like that, but sooner or later you're going to miss something right there in front of you that you really needed to see. It's very similar if we're like trying to imagine what the road's like 2 miles or 2 kilometers down the road and adjusting the steering wheel based on what's 2 kilometers down the road, we're going to wreck too. Because we need to be aligning and changing our course and flowing with life based on what's happening right now. What's happening 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago or even 5 seconds ago doesn't matter anymore. And what's going to happen 5 years from now or 5 seconds from now doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter now. Maybe it will matter then, but you can deal with it then, if it does matter then. Make the choice to deal only with what's happening right now and focus on what's happening right now and to navigate your life based on that. Make the choice that if you're feeling bad about something right now, to take the time to sit with it and decide if it's something about the past or the future. And one of the best things that I found for myself was pretty much just spending a lot of time telling my brain, guess what, it doesn't matter. Especially when I'm trying to meditate. Our minds will continually bring back things to us. The universe will continually throw things at us. Excuse me. Throw things at us to help us to step into greater alignment until we get the lesson. But if we allow ourselves to get caught up in that thing that hurt so bad in the past, instead of just making peace with it first, or making peace within ourselves first, then we get more of that. So the easiest thing we can do is simply for a period of time, every time your mind says something, try it for 3 days. If you can do 3 days, man, I reckon it'll make a massive difference in your life. Every time your brain kicks up and says, oh, I've got to call this person, or oh, I've got to pay the bill, or oh, how am I going to pay the rent this month, or oh, what am I doing this weekend for, I should go catch up with these people. If you can do this for 3 days, every time your brain says something like that, it doesn't matter right now. It doesn't matter right now. Oh, but I've got to pay the rent. It doesn't matter right now. Is your rent late? Is your rent overdue? Has anyone contacted you about when you're going to pay the rent yet? Guess what? Probably doesn't matter then. If your rent is due that day, yeah, pay it, of course. Makes no sense not to. But that's something, if it's due that day, well, then that's important that day, isn't it? That's being connected to the now, doing what you need to do in each and every moment. But we can't live a healthy, productive, happy life in the now if we're so focused on what we need to do next week and next month and next year all of the time. We need to spend at least 20 minutes a day, every day. And I believe this is once you've reached that healthy, happy space where you're able to live in the now most of the time, By spending 20 minutes to half an hour a day just saying to your brain, doesn't matter right now, please bring this back to me when I'm done resting, when I'm done with my meditation period, that will maintain. You see, it's like building a muscle. Once the muscle is strong, once you're fit, it doesn't take much exercise to maintain. But getting to that place where you are fit takes a lot more effort. So spend as much time, if you can take 3 days and go on a meditation retreat, that would be great. And during that whole time when you're on the meditation retreat, anytime your mind kicks up and says, hey, I need to do this, I need to think about this, no, doesn't matter right now. When the meditation retreat's over, then we can deal with it. And I promise you that you will feel so much better for taking that time to spend for yourself, to just be at peace with yourself for a few days. And hopefully it'll be so contagious that you won't be able to not meditate for 20 minutes a day after that meditation retreat. Or however you choose to do it. Go out into nature and just spend a few days camping and just be at peace with yourself. Get a feel for what it's like to be in that space, that creative flow, a space of meditation. If it's exercise that does that for you, great, man. Just focus on how good that feels and spend as much time as you can in that space getting your brain to rest. Your brain needs to rest, and it doesn't unless we as beings choose to give our brains time to rest. They don't, because we're off dreaming and the brain's still analyzing and doing stuff, trying to process what's happened to us during the day, year, week, whatever happened. It's always working unless we choose to sit and meditate. And guess what happens when we finally get our brain to switch off? Our flow opens up. We step into a greater presence of the now, and then our body begins to feel better. And guess what? Your body's feeling better, so your brain's like, wow, my body's feeling better. Yay, I feel great. And your brain's like, woo, we feel better, we feel better. And then guess what? Your body starts feeling even better. It's an awesome, awesome positive feedback loop. And it's easily established. All you have to do is make the choice to do it. If you desire any help with that, you can contact me at jasonmholden@gmail.com. I'm happy to be assistance. Once again, namaste. Have a wonderful day.